Okay, hi, this is Scott Bowman, and I am the creator behind Idea Brickworks. And this is the episode 3 of Brick Building Together Apart. We are now officially a series.
Yes.
Right. So, and I even have the 4th one. We'll talk a little bit about that later. We are now officially a series. Okay, I'm getting an echo.
Sorry, that was me.
Okay. Stop that, Peter. So anyway, I will allow the, so this episode, I should probably talk about, is about Idaho LUG. LUG stands for LEGO User Group. There are hundreds of LEGO user groups all over the world. This one happens to be in Idaho, a little Boise-centric, although we have some members in various locations around Idaho. It's just harder, even as narrow as Idaho is, it's fairly difficult to get from one side of Idaho to the other because we have these things called mountains and foothills. We've got all sorts of stuff in between us, and none of our roads seem to go straight. They tend to go back and forth, up and down, which is fun if you own a Porsche like I do, but it's also can make travel a little interesting. It's really kind of weird that you can get to Salt Lake City easier than you can get to Twin Falls or some of the other locations in Idaho. So anyway, the LUG gets together. We're a group. We've got over 400 some people on our Facebook group, but we've got a really good core of probably 80 some that are active on some level and a good 40 or so very strong builders. I'm the one that organizes our shows and different things like that. And I can really depend on 20 people immediately and usually another 20 if I cajole a little bit. So we've had as many as 40 builders at a show, which is actually really, really strong for a community like ours. And we show really well. We have some great builders. And I've got a couple that are actually on this video stream that are contributors. Peter, a little more recently, has been contributing to our shows. Amber's been a strong supporter. She has a unique building style that is welcome at our events. And so with that, I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves. Excuse me. Go ahead, Sam. Why don't you start it?
Well, everybody knows me already now, episode 3. But yes, I'm Sam. Today, I'm not going to be building anything. I'm going to take apart the new LEGO Technic Dodge Charger. Got some plans to do some video work with this, so I need to take it apart to be able to do that.
Amber?
Hello. I just kind of got into Lego because it just got the catalog and they had these cool little like dollish figures called Belleville, so that's what I build with and it's what I enjoy. But today I thought as a little homage to 2 of my favorite loves. I love to read and I love Lego, so I'm doing the pop-up book. I'm excited about it. It looks so much fun.
Cool. Peter?
Well, I have 2 sets here today, both from Hidden Side. I have Elf Lego Stunt Plane. Might be able to see it a little bit better on this side of the box. And then I also have the Haunted Lighthouse. I think it's what it's called. The Lighthouse of Darkness, excuse me. So I think I'm going to start with the Stunt Plane.
Yeah. So we're just going to be building. I am going to build.
Oh, BB-8.
The BB-8. It'll kind of go with my R2-D2 that I've got down on the lower shelf. So I've had this for a while, and I just have not had a chance to build it.
Alright, well, I'm going to crack on taking this thing apart.
So crack on means I'm going to get started.
Yeah, sorry.
I'll be the interpreter for. So Sam, have you looked into any LUGs around you? I know you sent me the Brick Live. You do have a show that's not too far from you.
Yeah, so Brick Live is a show that happens every year. I've been meaning to go for ages, but work or one thing or the other stopped me from getting there. But I did have a look at some LUGs whilst I was over in Idaho, funny enough. But I haven't actually reached out yet to anyone. And as my building skills are still in their baby steps, shall we say, I don't know. I don't really know what much I can bring apart from the fact I can follow instructions.
Again, LUGs are not. Most LUGs are built around fandom, not necessarily that you have to be building. I guess what we're always trying to do, though, is to get people to start building, and doing mocks. And I think everybody starts in this building sets and kits. I don't know too many people that go right into building a 12-foot tall Saturn V like you did, Sam. So.
Well, this is very true. I did have a unusual start, let's put it that way.
So Sam came to Seattle after a race and was my assistant bouncer, enforcer for a week.
Yeah. It was good fun. We had a lot of young people come and help us build the Saturn V, and we had a lot of volunteers from the Seattle LEGO Users Group as well.
Yep.
Come and give us a hand. So it was a very, very good time. And as I've mentioned before, I got a rather sharp and quick introduction into a lot of LEGO terminology.
So Amber, I understand you've got a new gig.
Sort of. I've been editing. What was it? A little bit of that. But I've been. I was doing a data entry gig. Unfortunately, that one kind of got cut due to the coronavirus because they can't have people going door to door collecting political signatures and petitions in order to verify with the disease right now. But I still have another little gig doing some video captioning. So it's something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, not a lot of money, unfortunately, not enough to live on, but it's still an income. So an income is good.
Yes.
And then I have a couple of editing gigs at the moment I'm working on, which these ones I think are only going to get me some free books and a couple of other little things, but it's still something.
Well, yeah.
Books I don't have to buy. So, that's a plus. But it's great. Lots of free time for building with Lego.
And there is nothing wrong with that.
No?
Except buying new sets gets a little harder if you don't have income.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I'm kind of behind on some of the different princess series at the moment, so I'm sad about that.
So I have a question for both Peter and Amber.
Okay.
What has been your most ambitious build? Scott mentioned you are both builders, so what's been the most ambitious thing you've built?
Ambitious wise, probably my frozen castle, because it's still a little bit of a build in progress, because I just kind of add stuff onto it or make the towers bigger as I get the right pieces for it. Like our lug bulk buy this year, there's a couple of parts that are going to go in to replace some current parts that are in there, because that'll look a little better. So I'd have to say it's probably my most ambitious thing that I completed, but I have ideas for other ambitious stuff. So.
And did you design that castle yourself?
Well, sort of. I used like the Belleville giant base plate and stuff to kind of have it centered around that theme. So it has that nod to Belleville, and yet it's very much frozen because they did a cold north line, and that's just really matches so well. I mean, you can't not do something frozen based off a frozen based sort of series.
And Peter, what was your most ambitious build?
Well, outside of sets, it would have to be the Avengers Endgame mock I did last year. Just like a nice diorama of the final battle. And I currently have a few projects that are digitally. I'm just holding off on the right time to buy some bulk brick. And fortunately, I canceled my bulk order through the LUG this year because of the sudden unemployment. And I thought it wasn't a good idea to be spending that much on Lego I didn't need at the moment.
Yeah, lug bulk was weird this year, and so just to catch everybody up, lug bulk is an opportunity that lugs get once a year to order brick. It's got, as you might, well, if you know Lego, you'll know that they love rules, and they love very complex ways to go about things. So we had fully complied. We had the order. We had the right number of people and the right number of parts. And then the virus hit. Everybody was at home. Lots of people, got the highest unemployment in the world, basically. I mean, the world's has the highest unemployment. And so Lego actually did give us, they suspended some of their rules, and they gave us a chance to basically, if you had already ordered, which we had, you could cancel what you were going to get. And even if that fell under some of their other criteria, you could still go ahead. So I think out of the, what do we have, 24, 26? We had 4 that needed to change. So
That's not too bad.
I'm actually partially regretting the decision. Sometimes I just panic and try to do what I think's best.
well, and we had a fairly short decision time, that I wasn't able to give you guys a lot of time.
But my designs live on digitally. There's always next year.
Yeah.
Now that's a nice little segue into something else. What is the, what projects are you guys working on at the moment? Any nice big designs? Feel free to say no. I've only got small designs.
So I kind of I try to do at least one a week, but I've been doing a lot of brickhead. And some of my favorites have been taking classic minifigures and making them into a modern brickhead. So I've done like a Blacktron Spaceman, Ice Planet Spaceman, and Captain Redbeard.
Yep, I liked Redbeard.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And then I guess something I did because I wasn't that good at using Bricklink Studio. I built the new idea set, Pirates of Barracuda Bay, in Bricklink Studio, and that just really not refreshed me, but taught me how Bricklink names all their parts. And I just found it to be super annoying that the serial numbers that LEGO uses in the instruction manual is not how Bricklink sets up their inventory. So I can't just type the part number into Bricklink Studio. I have to look it up first on their website, and then like, okay, that's a quicker way. But really just knowing the names of stuff really sped things up. And I think I have it here in the corner. As you see, I built the helmets recently for speed build videos, and I decided to take the Boba Fett one. I built that in Bricklink Studio, and then I modified it to be the Mandalorian from the Disney Plus show.
Oh, very nice.
And of course, I made it all chrome silver and chrome gold highlights. You know, even though the LEGO would never do
parts
that.
that don't exist, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna make it look cool because it's but what I wanted to say is because I built Pirates of Barracuda Bay, being 2,600 pieces. I built that Boba Fett in studio at about the same rate, same speed that it would take me to build the physical model following directions.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of only going to get faster, you know. So I guess that's another version of speed building.
You know, definitely Studio has some quirks. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I found the quirks when I started designing my TARDIS. They were, well, I think Peter covered most of them, but the one thing I had was trying to find particular parts. Again, like it says, knowing how things are named and what pieces what, it makes a huge difference when you come to design something.
Well, and some of that I think is history in that LEGO has two different naming strategies. They have an element kind of series number, but then their serial numbers really represent a color and an element.
Yeah.
And so a long time ago, when Bricklink started as basically a fan-based site, they decided to go with the series. Then you got to more specific colors once you got to the series. So I know where they got to where they're at. And if you search on a serial number on Bricklink, you will find the right piece, but it's not intuitive. Plus, I think LEGO names things weird anyway. You know, like shaft, bar, pin, rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but when they name an axle,
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense to me as that being an axle. I feel like a pin should be an axle because it's able to rotate, and what they name an axle piece is it fixes in the position.
Well, and then there are pins, and then there are connectors.
Oh yes.
Mm.
If anyone ever wondered, this is my favorite Lego color. The is that turquoise?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
That's a fun color. I have to say, I really like some of these new colors they're coming out with because some of them are similar to a lot of the old Belleville colors, like this new bright light yellow or the light lavender colors. That's truly pretty nice. They just gel really well with my collection because of that, and I just love it.
And almost anytime when I'm on eBay or Bricklink, if I'm buying something small, I always check their store to see if they have any trans neon orange.
Oh yeah.
Usually buy that no matter what the piece is because
I know a man who's got a lot of that.
because my goal is to one of the projects I'm working on is a ice planet mock. I kind of have like a space observatory built for it.
All
So
right.
like anytime I see trans neon orange, it's like get it. And I'm slowly probably getting the world's largest collection of the quarter dome pieces. I think I have 12 at the moment. I know that's a ridiculous statement to make, but every time I shop for them, they're always in limited quantities.
Yeah.
Don't you just hate that? It's like a piece you want or need a ton of, are always so hard to get.
Well, like when I'm doing kits, that's one of the things I have to check. And I just had one happen. I've got been working hard on a new series, little race cars. And I'll show you. There you go. And I had to, those are lever handles, and it's the base of the lever. And I found out that none of them cost a lot, but some are just not available in very large quantities, which normally my first clue to rarity is price. But I'm finding that's not always the case.
But that feels like a good time, Scott, for a little plug about your Etsy store.
There you go.
So if you're watching or if you're new, Scott has his own custom builds on his Etsy page, which is the link at the bottom down here. So head over there, make sure you check it out. Buy something if you want. I personally recommend all of it. My personal favorite is the micro Saturn is the Saturn V.
My most popular item.
I have one here, complete with the limited edition 50th anniversary base.
I still have a few of those left, not many.
Nope, they are in limited supply, so I'm lucky enough that I have one. So yeah, make sure you head over there. Buy now, or they all disappear. You wouldn't have thought that was a car beforehand.
So I got to ask, what did you think of the Charger when it was assembled? Because I thought it was a little bit ugly on the box art.
On the box itself, it looks slightly unimpressive. But when you actually build it, the actual build and the one thing for me, which I'm actually be able to show you in a bit, is the suspension and how they've done the drivetrain on it all.
Okay.
It's actually, see if I can hold it up here. So you've got, this is the rear of the car, and they're using the black and yellow suspension springs that you can see here, and they've got it all done into a ball joint, which is here, so that when you put the wheels on and then you put weight on the car, it all sinks down, and it functions quite nicely. And then in there you've got the actual drivetrain for the engine block as well. Now the engine block, because of taking the bonnet off, is up front here, and that's your standard, if you will, sort of Lego engine block that they seem to be doing in a lot of their bigger builds at the moment. But it's also got this very nice chain on it as well. Just more for effect, I assume. But yeah, it all sort of goes quite nicely together, and even the front's got. They've even got the suspension on the front there, if you can see it down the, and that also all hunkers down as well. Obviously, it would hunker down more if I had a wheel on it. Hey. But I did quite enjoy it. Like, there are a few bits where you really, 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 really have to pay attention to the instructions, because if you don't, you're going to miss bits.
Which is not unusual for Technic kits.
No, and there are a few bits where it's really quite difficult to put stuff into position because you've already built other things on top of it because you're following the instructions. But it is a good build. It's a very nice car. And I did enjoy it.
So I wasn't going to get it, but they've got the Range Rover out right now.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to get it.
Please do, because it's been sat on my wish list.
But Matt Lincoln got it, who is another LUG member. He's camping, or he would have joined us. Anyway, he showed it to me, and now I want it because of the four-wheel drive system and the suspension. He said the same thing.
It's little bits like that sometimes that can just change your view on a kit from, oh yeah, all right, yeah, it looks okay, to actually, no, I really, really, really need this.
So I have a funny story about that. I was not going to get the Jurassic, but then I saw a review video, and frankly, I had to have the Tyrannosaurus. So I did not. I built the gate, then took it apart. It's a little dusty. I just dusted. You know, it takes me 4 days to dust, and now this is dusty again.
So, Scott, you want the figures from that set?
I have the figures. I'm going to keep them.
Okay, because I was going to say, because that's all I wanted from the set.
I knew where you were headed.
So here's a question then. If what do you I know what you do with the brick that you use from sets, but other people might not. So if you are only after a set for a particular thing, like the minifigures from the Jurassic set, what do you do with the rest of the brick?
For me, they just go back in my stock.
Yeah, kind of the same for me too, because I only have a small room. So like 95% of Lego sets I get, I'll build them once, tear them apart, and then those bricks will just be used towards my own builds. Really, there's just only a couple I still have around because I haven't gotten around to taking them apart yet.
Okay, I just want to compare things here. So, if people have, if anybody's watched the studio tour that Scott gives for his studio, you can see his stock, and in Peter's screen there quite clearly you can see all of his sorted trays. Here's mine. It's a Lego cup with all my spare pieces and actually something I need. Yeah, and when I go to places or when I get spare parts, they go on my cup.
That works.
Hey, you got to start somewhere, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
there's a lot of yellow in that cup.
So this is
Anybody think I'm
interesting.
trying to
So
pull it up?
BB-8 again is not symmetrical. There's different things on each face, and I was curious, and I noticed the way they are differentiating it. Here's a yellow side, here's some green, here's blue, and then they just had me put some support bricks in, which also hold in the Technic to hold the whole thing together. And they've got the yellow with the yellow, they've got the blue with the blue. So that's a pretty cool way to keep building in the right place.
That is quite clever. Don't want to give Lego too much praise.
They do have clever people.
That's it.
Yeah.
I always like to get to the end of a bag, and the only parts left are the only parts that you should have left.
The day that happens, Scott, is not anytime soon.
No, that usually happens for me most of the time. So, there's only been a couple of occasions when I've had that problem.
Miss Ludwig,
Yes.
we do need to talk about the Falcon. That is
I was
not
hoping you
necessarily
would.
true, young lady, in
Well,
that,
that was a giant project. That was like, what, 8,000 pieces or something?
yes,
And a lot of young people. This is it. There's so many variables.
of which she supervised probably, I don't know, 60% of the build.
Yeah, easily.
So I still get to blame you.
Mind you, I'm supervising 8-year-olds, so,
All the more reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never going to hear the end of that one, but,
Nope.
it's spare
No.
parts.
I don't really know the story behind this, but I'm guessing there were a lot of extra pieces.
A lot of
Funny enough.
pieces that shouldn't have been extra.
Easily enough extra
here I
pieces.
want to quote,
8x4 blade.
Equivalent of like a bag, basically.
and I want to quote, this is what I was told. So some of these extra pieces are going to be used later.
Outside of the bag stuff. Got it.
I just want to direct people to, if you want to know how many bricks were left over or how many parts were left over, if you head over onto Scott's YouTube channel, there is the videos for the Falcon time-lapse and the Falcon review. And there is a point at which Scott does hold up a box and shows off his leftover pieces. So, yes, head over there, watch it. Don't forget to like.
To be honest, she just made a more efficient design because it still looks good, right?
Exactly. Less pieces and it still looks great. That's more efficient.
More space for the LEDs and everything like that, the lighting kit.
Exactly. I helped.
There you
I
go.
made it better.
That's your story. You're sticking to it.
Yeah, that's my story.
And actually, it was interesting. I found probably most of them where they went. But, when you think about it, it was like 700 steps or something crazy.
Yeah, it was insane.
Wow.
And
I think it was actually more like 1,000 because it seemed like it counted up into 1,000 at the end or something.
yeah, I think you're right. But
But
it was,
it was huge.
and so what I would do is look for every instance of that part to see if I could find it. And I was able to find most of them. And then, of course, I had to rebuild it for the display, and that allowed me to get in a little deeper into the build. In other words, taking it apart quite a bit to change the structure. I had to improve the structure pretty dramatically because of how aggressive the stance is at Discovery Center.
See, you had less parts to deal with in doing that, so I
Yeah.
helped.
So how quickly did she realize she wasn't able to take the extra parts home?
I
Oh,
never
I was
thought
very-
that far ahead. I just
Yeah.
added them to the pile. He kind of packed them up pretty fast afterwards because he didn't want
Yeah.
spare parts roaming around. So he probably thought of that, but I should have. Then he wouldn't have known.
Yeah, he had the same idea when we were in Seattle as well. He didn't want all of the brick laid out in the main working area because he thought people might just take a bag and wander off with this, and we'd be missing a stage of the rocket. Which is fair enough because there's a lot of brick in some of those bags.
And a lot of people.
Yes, yeah. We did well though.
We did.
There wasn't any brick left over. Well, from in each of the bags, there might have been a few brick missing from the bags when we put them out, but that's a separate issue. That's my problem.
Yeah, Sam was my problem solver.
And Scott, you were your own problem solver.
Yeah, because some of the problems you brought to me were mine. When you redesign the rocket as many times as I have, yet again at Bricks Cascade, everybody would ask if I was going to sell the instructions. So I still can't fathom someone committing, because it would probably be $4,500 to maybe even $5,000 to buy the bricks to make your own, and then have to get the machining to get the armature, all that kind of stuff. But so I haven't quite decided whether I'm going to spend the time to do
Tell you
that.
what, Scott, you should do it when you reach a milestone on YouTube, like say 1,000 subscribers, and you'll sell the instructions for the Sound 5. Make it a competition sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Extra source of income,
Exactly.
which is probably a good thing right now.
Yeah, that would be good. Luckily, my wife has a kick-ass job, so. I am considering, and I didn't know, Peter, you might think about this too, but I'm thinking about going on Patreon or Patron.
Patreon or something. Yeah, something like that.
Possibly. I find like it's more successful when you have not a decent size following, but definitely I would say like a neighborhood of like 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers. If you were just focusing on YouTube, because I feel like that's when you would start getting a lot of people interested and invested in you.
And I did notice a lot of those, a lot of the Lego themed were like YouTube videos, or Kevin actually doesn't rate his as Lego. He does a lot with Lego, but it's more the graphic design and the stickers.
Mm-hmm.
But not very many are doing commissions or kits, and so I think I've got something to offer that's a little different in that I can give discounts. There's some things I could do that others can't really do, But,
Right.
Yeah.
And you of course Jang Bricks, right? I think
Yes.
everyone does. I know he just started a Patreon this year, and he started live streaming like this, and I've been watching it. He does it just talking about new set ideas and talking to people, and there's people in there that are just donating $100 or $500 to him. I've seen
Jeez.
just a live stream, and it's like that's insane.
That's cool.
Who was that again?
Jang. I think he's like the only Lego YouTuber who has like over 1 million subscribers.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and for me, this YouTube is more to get, what do you say, Sam? It's to get my brand out there.
Correct.
Marketing, as they would call it.
Yep.
Oh no.
As we've said before, Scott, you are an artist. Lego is your medium.
Yeah. Some would say obsession.
Yeah,
That sounds
I
like
think
Tracy talk.
right. I think my parents call it an obsession, but I don't know. That's parents for you, I guess.
I'm really curious. There's tons of gearing I'm building right now. So there must be something that it does on the inside.
Do you know? Yeah, it does the. Do you want me to spoil it or?
No. Stop it.
I won't say what does that.
Thank you.
It makes sandwiches. That's what it does.
Well, I'm really going for one of those right now.
Yeah.
So I have a 1x2 modified plate left over from bag 1.
Uh-oh.
That's a spare piece, right?
Ooh.
No.
I'm pretty sure the part wasn't used. I'm pretty sure it's just a quantity of 1.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Keep telling yourself that. I will show you one of my distractions, which is multiple and extensive in this room.
Oh, that's why that tile didn't has space underneath it.
Yeah. So I think you know that the shuttle that comes with the International Space Station is not the right size. And so
Right.
there's several versions out there. And I started, and I like some things, but others didn't make sense. And so, of course, I did my own version of it. But I just got some brick that I needed in order to finish this, but it's still, actually I had to order some more brick. But this is my version of the size.
Hang on a second. Those retractable doors.
Yep, so the doors open like they would. It actually has the Canada arm in it.
Oh, nice.
Then when they were building the space station, they had a special connector, and it's the only port that isn't currently being used on the space station, which is here. So it's on this end. And so this now is much better to the scale. And then I made a little stand so that it would connect. But again, I have some parts that I'm still playing with. But I think this I'm just going to make available. I'll make my studio file available because it's not, since I based it off of a couple of.
I was going to say, you're going to have to send in instructions for that, because I want some doors on my space shuttle.
There you go. Might even be able to find a disc. That was one of the things I was thinking about on my rewards on one of my higher levels is I do something like that, and I would make that available almost like a limited edition to my patrons to say, okay, I will get you the brick and I will get this in very simple instructions and not have to go through all the kit production, but sell maybe 3 or 4 of them to my patrons.
Yeah, so you put, like you say, you put that at the higher end of the scale. But yeah, that could work. You'd have to come up with a new idea each month, though.
Well, it's I think the way you do the patron, they commit to a monthly payment, but the rewards can be occasional. Like for the very highest, I'm thinking I would actually send them a kit of $40 value, but they're also committing to what I'd say that at. I think I was going to do that at $24 a month. So that's somebody committing almost $288. Whereas the other levels, I would give them discounts, from $1 to $2 off of Etsy. Anyway, I've been pondering that.
Oh, hey, I ended my first bag with just this one little 1x1 square, so I did it right.
You did it right, yes.
I did it right.
Have you found it yet, Peter?
I did. It was under a tile that wasn't pressed all the way down. So I started the next bag, and the stunt pilot of this plane is a skeleton. However, it has at least new to me, a new foot piece. It actually has the bottom part of the minifigure legs, so it looks like it's just his boots that are left. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
So I thought that was interesting.
After all these years of using the regular skeleton leg for everything, now they're deciding, let's do a new skeleton leg. That poor skeleton leg piece is now feeling like left out or something.
Yeah.
Also, in another hidden side set, they used the skeleton torso, but it was in black, just for greebling.
It's funny. Last when Joe was on, he commented after Joe Mino was our guest last week, and his comment was, it's kind of like a dinner party. Every so often, people get so busy eating, they forget to talk.
Yeah, we're not having many questions today on the old feed either, which is a bit of a shame. Although I suppose over here it is a bank holiday weekend, and it's fairly nice weather outside.
Did any of your family members join?
Well, no word. They haven't said that. So maybe they're saving it for next week.
I guess we should probably talk about next week.
So there you go, Scott. Who is your guest for next week?
So my guest next week will be Joe Chambers. Joe was actually also on last week, but just as a
Drop it.
And Joe is from Salt Lake City. He's a member of the ULUG, the Utah LEGO User Group. And he builds space. And he built an incredible LUT, a Skylab and the Skylab launch, which he used the basis of the idea of Saturn V to then build a version that was Skylab. And did that. And so he'll be on next weekend.
Very cool. So if anybody does have any questions for Joe or to join in, same time, same place.
Same bat channel.
Yeah.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
The link, everything will go out after the end of this video because social media scheduling is like amazing. Plus, for me, it's dinner time in the UK after this, so
yes,
gotta go cook and eat food.
What part of the UK are you from, if you don't mind sharing?
Oh, well, from is a very complicated question. Where I live currently is a very easy question.
All right, let's go with that one.
So I live in the Midlands at the moment, in a place called Coventry. I'll hear my housemates shortly probably yelling at me because they're very adamant it's not Coventry, it's Warwickshire. But, it's all about the same. What's a mile over the borderline? Nothing. But yes, I live in the Midlands at the moment, so I'm right in the middle of the country.
Okay. I spent a week in the UK in 2012, or a week and a half. Spent the first week in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And visited Stirling while I was there, and Loch Lomond.
Very cool, yes, yeah. I've got some family in Scotland.
Then we took the train down to London.
Yeah.
Spent a couple days in London and went to Oxford and Salisbury.
Yes, so I'm just a little up from about an hour and a half away from Oxford.
Okay.
Not that far.
And then we left basically less than a week when the Olympics started. So got out before all the foot traffic came in.
That was a good move. Good move. Did you enjoy your visit to the UK?
I did. I really fell in love with Scotland. And it's like if I ever had to pick a place to retire, it's like Scotland's definitely on the list. But London was great. It's really funny. I'm sure there's always a lot of street performers down by the London Eye, and I just discovered Doctor Who like a year before I went to United Kingdom.
Yeah.
So the whole entire time I was there, I was wearing David Tennant's jacket. And, I ran into a street performer in London, and he was dressed as Peter Venkman from the Ghostbusters. And one of my favorite pictures, an American dressed as Doctor Who, and Britain dressed as an American
It is funny.
character.
Brilliant.
That's amazing.
I don't know why when obviously we went to Salisbury to see Stonehenge.
Yeah.
And I prepared myself for it to be underwhelming, but I actually still really enjoyed it. They're massive stones. And just like,
Do you know what? I'm going to admit something here. I've never actually been.
really.
I drive past it literally so much because there's a couple of circuits, racing circuits, which is part of my job, that are down that way. Drive past it so much, I just go, but I've never been.
Well, I highly recommend it. Just a nice afternoon trip.
There it is, folks. An American recommending a British tourist area in Britain.
Well, they have a smaller version of the Stonehenge here, and I can't remember. It's like in Oregon or Washington or something. Because my family visited on as we're going on like a little road trip thing. But what can I say? When you do a bunch of road trips back and forth for stuff, you kind of forget what's in what place.
Right.
So
But there's like a little museum and stuff, but that sort of stuff.
there was one I visited in Utah in 2008. I don't know if it's still erected, but basically it was the most American thing. It was called Carhenge.
Yes.
Just,
I was just going to say, yeah, that's
This guy was a farmer, and all the land around him started getting bought up by developers, and people started moving in, and they didn't like his farm. They're like, "Oh, it smells. You need to do something." And he's like, "Well, I've been here for 30 years," and he goes to the edge of his property, takes his backhoe, digs 5 huge holes, and put a bunch of cars in face down, engine down. Erects what he called Carhenge. So they had something to forget.
brilliant idea. Absolutely brilliant.
That's funny. When you think about it, farmers are where a lot of our food comes from, so.
Always got to look after the farmers.
Exactly.
And that's definitely been one of the big things over here in the UK since the lockdown has started. Is people wanting to do more and buy more local things, more local food and products and all that.
I'll be right back. Let me get some water.
There, you guys have seen that over in America as well. People suddenly becoming almost like, yes, we should buy everything American, we should buy everything British. We shouldn't buy from these other foreign countries.
Yeah.
One thing I don't like about taking stuff apart is some pieces just don't want to come apart at all.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that being a Technic set, I would not envy you.
Well, normally, if I was building something, I would be probably a second bag through at the moment. Not gonna lie, I'm nearly demolished this thing, but I have got the engine and the chassis to go. This is like the worst bit because this is all the small fiddly bits.
This is one of my least favorite things to do is putting stickers on round tiles.
Yes.
You're brave.
Do you have tweezers?
I use my brick separator.
I have a very nice set of tweezers that do mine.
I've read that some people, they use soapy water, and I've been skeptical about that damaging the stickers.
You know, most stickers won't be damaged by soap and water, really.
No.
I've washed enough used parts to know that. However,
That's how you put them on cars.
you don't want to wash in rubbing alcohol. It discolors them, if you didn't know that already.
No.
Okay.
So I learned that by personal experience. So chrome pieces, don't use rubbing alcohol. Other pieces are fine, even some stickers. So.
Well, I'm glad I started with the plane because I don't think I'm going to have time to do the bigger one.
I'm noticing, even though this is all dark green, there's like color variations between the different parts.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. It's like extreme color variation. It's kind of amazing.
Green
like
and yellow.
Black light, you can see them, but it's cool.
So I'm just starting bag 3. So one thing, obviously, it's his little flamethrower lighter will go out, and then the other one seems to move the head, I'm guessing.
Oh, there we go. I didn't have to spoil it for you.
No. So Amber, I haven't talked to you since, did you watch Lego Masters?
I did, yeah. It's
So
been kind of
what's your
a fun
opinion?
and interesting show.
What's your opinion of the final champion?
You know, they were one of my favorites from the beginning, so I'm kind of happy that they won. It was like them, and the bearded guys were also another one of my favorites, and so I truly was. I was happy with the outcome. Although I do have to say, I wish there would have been more brick building sort of tips, or just like more like building. There was, I don't know. They definitely played a little on the drama side, which I mean I get. It's TV. But there's so many techniques that didn't get highlighted.
Well, and I've seen the Australia version and the English version, and I think they spend a little more time on the bricks in those.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was trying to see if the. Sorry. I was trying to see if I could watch the version of Lego Masters or this Lego Masters that you guys had over there, but I've not been able to find anywhere yet. And that's when I stumbled across the British version. And I was like, How have I never seen this? So I have that on my watch list.
There you go.
Well, Scott, I can tell you one thing. This is a set you probably will love to pieces because it has tons of these 1x1 bricks, just so you know.
I do.
So it'll be your favorite set to build. But it is symmetrical. It's very symmetrical right now, so.
You know, this is like one huge Lowell sphere.
Mm.
You should motorize them and put treads on the bottom.
That'd be amusing.
Yeah, you know, one of the things I've been stewing over is like Festival of Trees. Like, are they going to be able to have a Festival of Trees this year?
Ooh, or even the Comic Arts Festival this year.
Yeah, I've got a message. Josh, who is the coordinator, I think got furloughed from the library. So it's not monitoring his email. So yeah, I don't know. And I do have the date in from Mock Fest in June, but I can't imagine they're going to allow events then.
Yeah. And it's definitely going to be a weird year, that's for sure.
Frankly, it could be 2 years until we get the vaccine.
That's gonna be the biggest thing, and I'm staying optimistic that it's gonna be that they might be able to find something this year and might be able to start rolling out a vaccine next year.
Maybe. Oh, the downside is there's people like me who are like allergic to vaccines, so learn that at a young age. Kind of sucks to be me.
Well, vaccines always have outliers, right? So, but if you get to that 80% mark, then we help protect you.
That is true. That whole herd immunity, they call it.
Exactly. So, you know, it's there have always been people who can't take the vaccines, but that doesn't really significantly reduce the efficacy. And you're kind of seeing the results. If people don't get vaccinated, then all of a sudden you get outbreaks of measles that hits and then the people like you could literally die because you're already going to get have it worse, you know. So it's
you know, it's just as well I have these hobbies that I do at home most of the time, really. I mean, Legos and books. I mean, that I'm content being at home.
There you go. Yeah, I think the inner introvert's coming out in everybody.
Be an introvert. They stay healthier.
there's a, now I can't remember the exact T-shirt, but the T-shirt was something like, I've been practicing social distancing since before it was cool.
Yep.
I think I
seen that
need
one as
it.
well. Tell you what, whenever I come up with an idea, Scott, to take stuff apart, tell me it's a bad idea.
I've done it a few times myself.
And did you have someone tell you it was a bad idea?
No.
See? Yeah.
Excuse me.
So has anyone ever had success in building a hexagon in Lego, like for floor tiles?
I've never even tried doing that before.
Nope, can't say I have either.
So I'm only going to bring it up just because I heard last week there was some Star Trek talk in the chat.
There was, yes.
Yeah.
There was discussion about
Someone incorrectly called it a Voyager class starship.
yeah.
Anyway, no, I started designing the transporter room from the Enterprise,
Oh,
and
Oh yeah.
panels are hexagons, and I am struggling to build the pads, which are hexagon shaped. So I'm trying some different snot techniques, since really the only higher polygon past rectangles is really just octagons.
yeah. So we're talking 6-sided, right?
Yes. So that'd be an outer or an interior angle of 120 degrees
Yeah.
for a proper hexagon.
Yeah, that's a puzzle, that one. You really have to think about that.
Great. Now I'm going to be thinking about that.
I knew I asked the right group.
Well, that sounds pretty cool, though. So I've always thought it'd be fun to try my hand at some Star Trek mocks myself. So I just haven't gotten that far because I have so many ideas.
I forgot we can actually. Let me see if I can open my project.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you open your project, we'll let the community see it. Because you're right there, Amber. I have so many ideas and so many things I want to build. You sit there and go, but which one do I build first?
Right?
All right.
I've got like a Robin Hood one in progress, and I want to do a Neuschwanstein castle with all these white Belleville tower things that I have, because I have so many. Like I have enough that are filling a large file bin of them. That's how many of those Belleville Tower pieces I have. But it's like Neuschwanstein Castle. You see all the pictures, it's like white mostly and gray. So I'm like, I can do that. It's just so many ideas, not enough time.
Yeah, I've got. I want to build my slightly. I want to build a TARDIS from Doctor Who.
There we go.
Let's. Here we go. Ah, okay.
So I built the back wall, and this is me struggling.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Ooh.
So I'm trying to figure out a way to fill up that shape properly.
Yeah, that's definitely a tricky one.
Maybe just use like the curved macaroni ones instead.
What's that?
Maybe use like the curved macaroni ones instead, and those new little 1/3 corner sort of things would be rounded, but I don't know. Creative license, no.
Yeah. And obviously this isn't minifig scale. This is actually going to be perfect for the brickheads that I built.
What about the like a 2x3 brick? What's the slope angle on a 2x3 brick? Yeah, there it is.
This one?
No.
Or this one?
Yep. Nope, you got the. There you go.
Oh,
It's closer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is
I
why.
might be able to fill it in better.
Yeah, no, that's a tough angle to. Now, while it's not totally legal, I have been known to cut base plates.
You did what?
But you need to use a very sharp jigsaw blade.
Yep.
Because if you use a dull one, you just weld the cut behind you as you cut it. Not that I know why or know how, but
So I actually have experience with that, Scott, because I made a circular base plate for my turntable.
yep.
And I don't want to discuss how many base plates I ruined in trying to get that perfect circle. But I can open up some of my other files I've been working on too, since I have this.
Yeah, do the Tesla. I love that one.
Yeah, I'll bring that one up first.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
well, if you want round base plates, they invented a lot of them with the Belleville series. I mean, there's big ones and little ones, so
Hmm.
and they make a nice circle.
Mhm.
So just a thought for you.
So here's
I guess the
my
larger ones oblong circle, but
custom Tesla figure.
Hey.
Can go inside. I can just pull this roof off.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
And this is my Tesla coil. Still got a lot to build inside here.
Using a lot of gold.
Yeah, I was just being fancy. I'll probably end up being... I think these pieces come in pearl gold. This one doesn't. This might end up just being a silver. But yeah, the inside of the lab was a white wall. So basically the whole entire exterior I built with profile bricks. And then I went inside and put a white wall in.
Right.
There's only one picture that's taken from basically this angle that I'm working off of. There's several different tables, workbenches, and then which I think I'll fill up this side. And there's actually going to be a staircase here that goes up to this part. And then this side, I figured I'd build some more generator-looking things out here to go power the large tower.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the exterior is basically done. Other than that, I might do some landscaping to fill up the plates just a little bit. And what's interesting is one of the pictures I found of the lab is there's actually a boxcar from a railroad right here sitting right next to the building, so I might include that.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
But this is not very stable at all. I need to work on the center column, but basically I took the pirate riggings and I think I can get the right angle where I can clip it in down here, but I gave up trying to do it in studio because doing anything angled work like that, I just got fed up with it, and I wasted an hour trying to attach those.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to let the three hang.
And I don't have a great solution other than trial and error. Also, you've got to turn off snapping at some point.
Yeah.
I turned that off from the start.
So I started working on this around Easter. I might save it for next year, but I was basically doing Moses and the 10 plagues for Egypt.
Nice.
And this is the Nile turning to blood.
Yeah.
That's a cheery build.
Well, it's applicable for our time period, I guess.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Because they're already talking food shortages, and we got a plague, apparently.
And then,
At least according to the media.
in this scene from the movie, they have an Egyptian god that has a ram head. So I just grabbed Loki's head piece there. But this is one that's definitely nowhere near finished, but I thought it'd be nice to build some vignettes for movie scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my ice planet. Oh no, that's the actual set. Hold on. So Scott, you're going to see why I wanted all these slopes now.
Oh,
Because I wanted to
Yeah.
build this in totally, and this is like a breezeway. I actually bought all the orange pieces. I just need the blue pieces now.
Yep.
But here I have a garage to store the vehicles, and I just basically want to build a snowy mountain. And this is the observatory I built.
Oh, cool.
And, this is going to be motorized, so it rotates. So it's like a radio telescope.
Nice.
And then I went ahead. After I made these figures, I saw that the actual torsos were actually already in the catalog.
Oh, yeah.
But
So really
you know, I
quickly,
don't have any
sorry,
spare parts from Big 2, so I rolled again. I scored.
None.
Yeah.
you're doing well. So real quickly, one of our regular viewers, Luke, my cousin, has joined us again. So, hi Luke.
hello. And here, I just thought I'd bring up the Barracuda Bay model. And I guess the one point I wanted, as I was talking about the flexible pieces, getting them to line up, like doing this rigging took forever to get the studio to work with me. And just as before, I got these pretty close, the actual riggings. I think I got them to snap in place.
Yeah.
And then, as you can see here, this barrel hanging off of this rope, you see how wiggly it is.
Yeah. One of the things that the connect button doesn't work very well. Again, Studio doesn't have very good documentation.
Nope.
So it's trial and error, and every so often it snaps exactly the way I'd like to, and then I can't figure out what did I do
to make it do that.
Make it do that, yes.
And when you do want to use the connect feature, it wants you to click on points in 3D space, but you can't exactly do that because it's just random when you're clicking out into the abyss on what plane you're actually selecting.
Exactly. I like that. Clicking on the abyss. I may have to use that.
Feel free. I think it perfectly illustrates the frustration.
Yes, exactly.
And I just recently turned my preferences on the graphics down to the lowest setting because the models were just getting too big. And so every time I was adding a new piece, it's like my GPU was struggling to render the screen.
I might need to do that as well. Because my laptop will just have a fit.
You know, another thing that I've learned about that is I do a lot more sub-assemblies now. And then if you view the sub-assembly versus edit it, you can do some fairly big things and still move around.
Okay.
So like I've been working on the base, which you saw, Peter, at the photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
The new one, and it would be almost impossible to move around if I had the whole thing, but I had each layer separate so I could work on a layer in view and things work great. Then I could look at the whole thing or edit and see how it connects below. So I'm going to use a lot more sub-assemblies, which you need for instructions anyway, you know.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And exactly when you need to move something around, it's better to grab a sub-assembly than instead of trying to select the exact parts you want.
Yep.
I completely forgot I had actually finished that. So, Scott, you remember I made this little fella during my visit to Idaho.
Yes, the duck.
The duck. Well, when you introduced me to Studio, I did actually design a new duck.
Yeah.
He doesn't have wings, is the only downside at the moment. But I fear that's not really that much of an issue. Let me see. Let me share this screen if I can. Share. Here's my duck. He's a bit big.
He is a bit big.
But he's my
very
duck.
long duck.
It reminds me of the penguin boat from Batman Returns.
Oh wow, yeah.
I was quite proud of it. You know,
Or the quackers, the wingless duck from Beanie Babies, good old Thai Beanie Babies.
yeah. I think what I could do is if I replace this brick here with a 1x3, I could put a 1x1 with a little pokey out stud bit. I can't remember what you call them. Scott's laughing at me. He's told me the name. Because one's a headlight, which I think's got the lip, if I remember rightly, Scott.
Yes, modified brick would get you snot brick.
Yeah. So if I replace that, at least then I can have, like I've done here on my actual one, I can put the put a curved brick on there, and you can have things that move.
Yeah.
I've also got my TARDIS on here, but I'm not ready to show that, so I'll save that for another day. And I'm thinking about doing a Speed Champions one as well for a Bentley.
So the stunt plane's done.
Oh, very nice.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's a nice little build.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
What are the wing struts? Are they?
They're the fins like you would put on a rocket.
Oh, just not connected at one end.
Oh no, they're connected on both sides.
Oh, I know that piece. Okay, yeah.
I am disappointed the rudder doesn't move. Got it flaps and ailerons as well. Oh well.
It is a bit small for those.
Nope, not done. I forgot to put this piece in. So like these color wheels are like in every Hidden Side set, and it's part of the app integration.
Interesting.
Get the propeller off.
Is that the on the dragster? Is that the bit that comes out of the rocket at the end there, like the engine bit?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I should probably download the app actually. Well, whilst we're here, I will.
Are your housemates logged in?
I don't know. Is the question. I haven't seen a comment from them, so maybe not.
So you've posted on Facebook. You've been running 5Ks, but your housemate bikes the 5K while you run.
Well, he goes a little further than 5K because he's on a bike. So inherently, he likes to put in a bit more mileage than me. Yeah, it's just something to do to both get us out of the house and keep us active, really. So I need to get fitter because, well, you've seen me, Scott, when we're at race events and I'm having to lug heavy equipment upstairs. You know, it takes a bit of effort.
It does.
So just sometimes carrying the simple thing of a little keyboard upstairs. For me, I don't mind running, and for anyone who knows me, yes, I am crazy. That is the first time ever I've admitted that I actually like running. But yes, I'll go running, and my housemate will join me, and he'll go for a ride as well at the same time. Good fun, good laugh.
Yeah.
Keeps us entertained.
Yeah, I've got to start walking more. I lost all that weight, but I
You've got to
haven't.
keep it off now.
Well, yeah, because I am eating more. Plus, this having Tracy home, and she likes to bake, and she does well. So it's
She doesn't do.
just a wee bit too tempting. Yeah.
Hazards of having a good cook in the house, you know?
And her specialty has always been desserts. So
Oh, what was it? What was it Tracy made when I visited? Well, she made a lot of things, but that's going to annoy me now.
yeah, now I can't. I'm sure she remembers.
I know she made a cake, and I said no to the cake because I didn't like what was in the cake. And no, it wasn't. It was the cookies. I said no to the cookies initially, and yeah, don't say no to cookies because they are amazing. And all I did was delay the inevitable.
Yes.
I paid and I went for those cookies.
I think I told you I went to Mad Mac for my birthday.
You did. You made me very close. Did you
Hey,
enjoy
you
it?
have to come back to get more fry sauce.
I do indeed.
So I got the head part. So obviously the head will connect there. There's a rubber band in there. Is the BB-8 the same scale? Because R2 seems much, much bigger.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not same scale?
No.
No, I didn't think they were either.
I do believe BB-8's closer to being 1-to-1 scale than R2 is by a long shot. But
This,
Just give it a few years and Lego will make some that are the same scale or something, you know?
I don't know. My expectation was it was going to be bigger. I don't know why I got that idea.
actually, no, I got that wrong. BB-8's really big in real life. He actually is closer to a beach ball. Real life.
So are you going to get the robot from the Rise of Skywalker? The weird one with the cone?
Theo.
I might get it to make a video, but I wouldn't plan on keeping it.
I got a little minifig size of Dio in the Resistance Y-Wing that I built
Oh, right.
last week. Let me see if I can find it. Dio. Oh, there he is. Dio.
Oh, yeah.
So I figured instead of starting the next one, I'll just go over my minifig wall.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
it's
I would
Lake
say,
32.
look at all the versions of Emmett, but technically he's a construction worker.
Look at all that white brick. I wonder where you got all that white brick.
I know. It just showed up last week.
Can't imagine.
And then my Blacktron army. A helmet, though. I need to get another helmet. Then all my hidden side ones are here. 2 base plates are dedicated to Star Wars, except where I got Frozen up there in the corner.
You know, I have not seen the movie Frozen.
Oh, you need to. It's really good. It's
First
better than the
okay.
second one, to be honest. I've seen them both. I actually own them both, too.
And then this is my Marvel plate. They're almost covering up 2 base plates. Got my classic space up there. And then this base plate is essentially any license thing that I just don't feel like putting with anything else.
All
So,
right.
SpongeBob, Flintstones, Jurassic Park, Lego Batman movie, and what DC figures I have. And this is where I put some of my brick separators. But I'm really happy. I was able to make stands for my dinosaurs. They're just some plates and inverted 1x3s.
Oh, sure.
So I was able to put my dinosaurs at the top because I couldn't find a good way to display them. And then I'm like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
So eventually, I got 4 more base plates I can put here between what I have already and the rest of my shelf collection.
Are those steel or peel and stick?
The what?
The peel and stick base plates?
No, they're just 50 by 50 base plates. I got a Bricknology, and I just I drilled a hole in the top 2 corners and put a paneling nail in.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I didn't destroy actual Lego because they don't make a 50 by 50 base plate.
The base plates that Discovery Center used are those same manufacturer, and for the same reason, really Lego base plates cost a lot.
Yeah.
These ones I get for $15 a piece.
Yep.
For a 50 by 50. And that's one of those I cut to make circular. So I can work on my turntable. And then I just epoxied the plate directly to the turntable so it doesn't move.
Yeah.
Scott,
Yes.
another thing I just forgot to mention. Have you seen the latest update on Sarah's pinball machine?
No, I don't think I have. I mean, I follow her, but sometimes it's.
Well, it's got a bit of a twist that's actually quite relevant to us at the moment. So if you give me a moment, I will quickly find the pictures. Here we go.
Well, I just dropped a 1x1 white plate. Thank God they put an extra one in because I cannot find it.
Well, because they knew how much you love them too.
Yeah.
I mean, after all, they're your favorite part.
Favorite.
Right, here we go. Right, hopefully you can see that. Can anybody spot what's special about that pinball machine?
I'm seeing Lego.
Exactly.
It's made of Lego.
Sarah
That's cool.
has been building her own pinball machine for a little while now. It's been a nice project for her. Something that she's very proud of. And she sent me this the other day with the Lego features, and I was very, very happy and very impressed with it.
So is that going to be a permanent thing, or is she using that more to get dimensions?
I think it might actually be more of a permanent thing.
Cool.
Cool.
So it's a pinball machine with Lego inspired ramps and builds and bits, and of course minifigures.
Yep. So Sam and Sarah work for the same company and does timekeeping, and I hang out with them all the time at races, and I don't partake, but they spend a lot of time finding places that have pinball machines.
It does, yeah. When Scott says we take, we spend a lot of time, he's not wrong. There is normally a discussion at breakfast, lunch, or dinner with several of us on our phones looking at the pinball map going, right, there's one here, and what do we fancy for dinner tonight? Well, if we go here for dinner, we can swing by here for pinball afterwards.
They also argue about how many and who has quarters.
Oh, there's no question. Everybody should have quarters.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a pot of them behind my television.
I've got quarters all over my room. I'm a regular coin collector too, so I've got lots of them. I've got some silver ones, fun stuff.
There's probably more discussions about who actually won the previous round or the previous night. It's not because we we're trying to get the edge on. It's generally because we can't remember.
Yeah, because there are adult beverages involved in all of these activities.
I don't know what you mean, Scott. I am. Yeah, I can't. Can't deny it. There's normally at least one.
So no children allowed.
Yeah, the thing is that you've really got to be careful, because if you have too many, it could put you off your performance, and if you could affect your high score. And at the end of the day, you don't have a good high score, you don't win the round. Right.
I was thinking of that figure skater guy. His name is Scott Hamilton or something. He actually is a collector of pinball machines. Have you ever heard of that show, Collector's Call? That's on Sunday evenings here in Idaho. It's people show off these interesting collections, and so I just right now it's on reruns. But it's kind of a fun show. It's people have Batman collections, Elvis collections of various sorts of memorabilia like movies or music or just different stuff. And so it's interesting. There's been some famous people, some not so famous people, and just cool things.
So, Sam, do you have any pubs or bars in the UK that are arcade themed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there's one in the middle of Birmingham called Kong's, and when we aren't in lockdown, me and several of my friends do like to frequent this arcade. And not only does it have a bar and arcade games, they're all classic arcade games. So we're talking Outrun 2, Street Fighter 2, Bubble Bobble was in there as well not too long ago. Mortal Kombat, all stuff like that. And then they've got 2 ping pong tables as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, they spend a lot of time. And they've also got a burger restaurant in there as well now. So, literally, if you want to just spend an evening in town playing arcade games or anything like that, you go there. And it's about a 10-minute walk from a pinball bar/pub as well that I know. So when you go in there, you've got 3 floors of pinball machines and craft beers and everything like that. So yeah, I'm very happy when I'm in either of those 2 places.
So I was going to say we have one in downtown Boise that's a mixture, has 4 or 5 pinball machines, but the rest is classic arcade games that cycle through. And then they have old consoles like Atari and N64 where you can just play for free.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, this is one of those things, and I think this came up in the last video stream. So I've been building this, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of the sides. Look what I just got on the last page.
Times 2. Brilliant.
You always miss it at the beginning because you're like, why didn't they tell me that beforehand?
Exactly.
They do.
Oh,
You just don't see it.
Right. So that's where they tell you that. And I just went right by it.
That should be in red ink.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah, it should be a lot.
With an arrow pointing towards it. Something to.
Not so asymmetrical now, is it?
well, see, if they did, it would have been a spoiler. And, they know how much you don't like spoilers.
This is true.
Right.
I mean,
going on to a bit of current world events here. Everybody know Elon Musk has just had a child, right?
Yes, that a very strange name.
Yeah,
know if I've heard of
AEX12. I've just looking through Studio, and I found a 1x1 brick with the AE exactly how it's meant to be, and it's pronounced written on in their on there. Although it says brick 1x1 with blue Danish AE pattern, so it sounds like it comes from your neck of the woods, Scott.
Huh. Well, Danish has a lot of, dots over something and, that AE thing, which I'm not exactly sure what that is. So, yeah, Danish has got a lot of that kind of stuff. There's some funny how to pronounce anything in Danish, and it's funny, like, some kind of consonant followed by unintelligible wobbling completed with a verb. It's so after one of the things that is on my bucket list, plus also something to do with Leah, my daughter, my younger daughter, is go to the Lego house and
oh, nice.
and definitely I think that trip, although maybe I'll make a special trip to England because I need to go to a real pub that serves good fish and chips. Because
you don't need to go to a pub for that. I'll take you to the seaside.
There you go.
Go to the seaside, have proper fish and chips, get attacked by a seagull. It's all very British.
I didn't know about the attacked by a seagull thing.
But they come down and they take your chips. It's all normal. It's fine. It's how we get along with nature and all that good stuff.
Yeah, they better not mess with my chips. That's
No, they take one and they fly off us. The trick is you don't give it to them. They have to take it. It's more fun.
Should we have a discussion on chips, crisps, and fries?
Oh, wow.
Which one's which?
if you want to...
Chips, fries, and French fries.
yeah, and let's not start talking about biscuits versus cookies.
Well, when I
very, very heated.
earlier, I was like, I found it interesting. I thought he would call it a biscuit, but is there a difference?
Yes, there is a difference. And me and Scott had this discussion.
Oh,
when
and
I came
Sarah
over.
and Michelle.
There is a distinct difference to a biscuit and a cookie. To the British, that is. A biscuit is generally a lot harder than a cookie, and a cookie is generally a little bit softer. With a biscuit, there is what we would say is a definitive crunch or snap.
Well, not about crackers.
Oh, well, now you're just getting into cracker is cracker. There's no.
This is a debate I have with my friends in the States. I don't know. Do you have animal crackers in the UK?
We do. I think we
I
do.
consider
I
them,
probably don't know.
but they call them crackers, even though they're sweet and hard.
See,
Right.
this takes me back to a scene in Armageddon where they have a whole debate about cookies and crackers.
Covered.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well done.
That's pretty cool. And hey, still just the designated spare parts after the third bag. So you
There
know,
you go.
What I found interesting about that set was the tile on the front with the title is like a rubber piece.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, because it's a clasp or something.
No, it's just a very large tile, and for some reason it's
It's a
rubbery.
Yeah. Slightly, it has a weird
What is it?
different.
Is it a 6x8? I forget.
Something like that.
I can grab mine too.
It's
Oh no, it's much bigger.
yeah, it's pretty big.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's a 16 by 6, I believe.
Weird.
So that I think that's probably why they made it more rubbery than actual plastic.
By 8, yeah. Yeah, 16 by 8. So yeah, pretty big. But I think it's cool.
I need to do more research on that piece, but it's like I can't think of another set that piece was in. But it being a Lego idea set means it's not supposed to have new pieces.
So I've got a question for you, master builders. And the reason I call you master builders is because you're much more advanced than your Lego skills than me. Let me get my prop here. So, in my TARDIS build, anybody who's seen Doctor Who knows the TARDIS, how awesome it is. It has wood panels. So each side has got effectively a wood panel that sort of steps out at a certain amount. I suppose the easiest thing here is if I get a quick if I show up this quick image. So yeah, as you can see there, you've got the TARDIS has got its wooden panels on its doors and on each side.
Yep.
That's the most important thing. That sort of step in and out. How would you achieve that in Lego without having it be oversized, if you will?
It's not.
I would first make it bigger on the inside.
Clever, like it.
Well played, Peter. Well played.
Just make it bigger. I mean, or something.
No, I think
I don't know.
snot with tiles would be a good way.
I see. I'm seeing where you're going with that, Scott, and I think that might work. I'm going to try it in studio as I'm going across now.
And we're down to a minute. So
Really?
Oh,
Wow.
that rubber piece I was just talking about, Scott.
Yeah.
It's the UCS Millennium Falcon. And it's black. Was that one of the extra pieces?
what?
Yeah, it's a tile 8x16 with bottom tubes.
God, I don't remember it.
I wonder where it's at. But I know I've said it. I wasn't familiar with the piece, but it's been in 33 sets. So, but it all happens to be sets I don't have. So,
So therefore,
right?
right? That's the.
I wonder if they use it on stands because it's showing up in a lot of UCS sets.
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah. Yeah, I think it is a little more flexible. But okay, well, we have come to the end of another episode. Thanks for joining. Again, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And
Thumbs up.
next week is Joe Chambers. I'm sure we'll be talking about space, or like I always like to say, life, the universe, and everything, otherwise known as 42.
42.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Live long and prosper.